على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
اللهم رب هذه الدعوة والصلاة القائمة. الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونستهديه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا. ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن سيدنا محمدا عبده ورسوله وخليله. عباد الله، أوصيكم بتقوى الله وطاعته وكثرة مخافته ولزوم أوامره، فإن التقوى شعار المؤمنين ودثار المتقين، ووصية الله تعالى في وفيكم أجمعين. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء، واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم، ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد، فإن أصدق الحديث كلام الله، وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله تعالى عليه وسلم، وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة في الدين ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. Brothers and sisters in Islam, every Muslim is proud that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guided him to this path of Islam. And the matter of the guidance and the hidayah is a subject those people who are not a Muslim and will come to enter to the circle of the Islam, they feel the taste and the difference of that subject. Majority of us in this land are people, our parents were Muslim, grandparents were Muslim. We do not feel that difference that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bestowed on us, unless we look at the other people who are misguided and compare with them the status that you are, your life and their life. That's the only way that you could do the balance check of the hidayah, how exactly the fruit of that hidayah that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave it to you and bestowed on you. And knowing the matter of the subject of the hidayah is really important. And this is one of those subjects throughout the history, people had so many arguments on it. And people came up with some ideas that whatever it is in their heart and were committed, they will be forced to have it. So, in other words, they do not have any wills into the path what they choose. And this is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also points this in the Quran, that in the day of the judgment, where they resurrect the people, He resurrects the people when He asks the non-believer, and they say we were like forced to follow this path. But is the hidayah is something that Allah wanted only certain group of people and want the other group to be in the hellfire? This is, we need to get to the conclusion to it, that exactly how this path is going, how the hidayah is there. And when we call it ihdina, when you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what exactly that means? Because if the hidayah is something to be guided, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala already guided us. We are on this path of the deen. So what exactly that means? Therefore, you need to understand the subject very well, because this is one of those subjects people could get into the discussion on them. Ibn al-Qayyim So the scholars, if you read about the subject, they came up in the categories, classification of the subject, majority of them into 3 types, or some they put it in 2 major categories. Ibn al-Qayyim, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless his soul, he categorized them, he put them in 3 classes, in 3 steps, that how exactly the guidance and the hidayah is come in the picture. Number 1 is the hidayah al-amma, is a general guidance. This is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala explains it in the beginning of Surah Al-A'la. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, سَبِّحِ اسْمَ رَبِّكَ الْأَعْلَى الَّذِي خَلَقَ فَسَوَّى وَالَّذِي قَدَّرَ فَهَدَى. 4 things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Sabbih, glorify, make the tasbih to the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the highest, who is Allah. الَّذِي خَلَقَ فَسَوَّى, the one who created, and فَسَوَّى, a taswiyah, that he arranged it, made it, like shaping, that he gave us this way, that you will have this shape, trees to have that shape, and everything to be in shaping. And then الذي خلق فسوى والذي قدر فهدى. قدر, the amount. Imagine if the human being will be delivered like hashakum, like animals, like dogs, have to have 5 at one time, 6 at one time, all the time, not to be only one overall. I mean, we have twins sometime, but the amount, if this earth that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave it to us, that you will never see the overflow. And the same for the other creations, that he does it. For the trees, rain. If the amount that comes down, when it comes to the rain, none of us will assume that we will be synced. Where is that assumption comes? Where is that assumption? Who is the one who's turning off the amount of the rain to be that much and not to have that overflow? Or to come in other season in the amount which will destroy the life of the people. So there is the taqdeer, the amount that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, inna kulla shay'in khalaqnahu biqadar. Everything truly that we created with the specific amount to be needed, and not more, not less. Now, after that, الذي قدر فهدى, he guided. Now this is the part, the hidayah al-amma, the general hidayah, everything that you see it from an atom size up to whatever the galaxies, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave the hidayah to it, the guidance to it. So everyone knows what is right, what is wrong. If, despite the belief, to put it in a side, if people will lie, everybody condemns it. It says that's wrong. If you commit a crime, killing someone, without even knowing the background of the religion, you know that's wrong. If you have a fruitful tree and is not taking a place and is really good for people, and someone comes with the axe and want to cut it, you complain about why are you doing this? This is good. Why you do that? And if there is some thrown on the road and someone will take it away and remove it on the road, nobody will say what you are doing is wrong. So the hidayah al-amma is there for everyone, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave it to all of us. The second is hidayah to dalalati wal bayan, is a proof of the guidance. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent us the prophets and sent us the books, and those the books that to point exactly where is the second level of the hidayah goes. And then you have the prophets throughout the history of humanity, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent the prophets to guide them. So that's the dalala wal bayan. The other part is regarding the universal that we are in, the shape, the body that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave it to us. All are the signs that this matter is, there is someone in behind, that there is a power in behind it. It's not random. It's not came by chance. We do not expect, none of us, if I ask any of you, you came to this masjid just by chance. They say, no way. I made plan for it. I took a shower, I made a wudu, I drove the car on purpose. I was not just thrown on a road and say, okay, I end up here for, I don't know how I am here. If someone will claim I am here, that sense, man, check your brain, is not right. Now this is on the level of one person. Imagine the entire universal that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created. There is no way this came by chance. So it has to be a power behind it. These are all the guidance of the dalala. These are the proofs that comes to them. Number 3 is dalalatul wahi wal ilham. Now this is the part Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when you choose after you look at the proofs from the universal and the books and the prophets, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will guide you to be on that path. Now, some scholars, as I said, some group are define it differently. Hidayat ad-dalala wal-ma'una. Ad-dalala is the way that the proof that you will see, and then the ma'una is the one which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will support you for that path. Otherwise, the general hidayah, that's for everyone. Therefore, for us, when we say ihdina sirat al-mustaqim, and we repeat this, why? This is to give you an example. If you are using your phone for the map, Google Map or Apple Map, whatever that you are using, when you come home and you put the Salahuddin Center, you come to Salahuddin to come to here, but you use your phone. If your child with you say, you know the road, why are you doing it? Says, son or daughter, I want to do it so that if there is the shortest road, what will get me? Because you never know. Maybe it's on Nonesville there is an accident, or if you take the 24 Highway 24 interstate, could be an accident there. So many times it happened to me. I took the lesson. I thought that the interstate was taking me sooner. When I stuck between the Bell Road and Haywood, there was no way that I could get it. So therefore, you try to shorten the time, to shorten the distance, to get there. Between 2 points, there is only one straight line. Life is not enough for us to go through the experiment. Therefore, when you get that guidance, you continuously ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to keep you on that path. Otherwise, misled is so easy that you will be misled and could take another route. I'll finish it in the second khutbah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. من عمل صالحا فلنفسه ومن أساء فعليها وما ربك بظلام للعبيد. توجهوا إلى الله بالدعاء. الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونستهديه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهدي الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا. Brothers and sisters in Islam, therefore the actual path is not the objective. The sirat by itself is not the objective. The objective is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when you say al-sirat al-mustaqim, for those who knows Arabic, al-mustaqim has alif lam. Alif lam is mawsuf, صفة للموصوف. الموصوف is the path. We want the right path. And the right path to get there is the one which the Muslims are seeking and trying to get it. When you get that, then you are trying to continue on that. When you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا. لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا. Do not take our heart away from the path that after you guided us. بعد إذ هديتنا. You guided us. Do not take our heart away from that path. So that's why those dua continuously, when we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to keep us on that path, is really important. And as we said in the Surah Al-Fatiha, every rak'ah we say اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. Now, why in the previous verse it says إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. We all worship you only. إياك. But here we are not saying إياك اهدنا. Like we are not asking specifically to ourselves. We say it as a plural, اهدنا, guide us. Because in the guidance, people are not jealous. We should not be jealous. Guidance, you should ask for anyone, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide it to the right path. Therefore, we say it as a plural. We do not conclude it into one. But in the ibadah, we concluded, إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ. We only worship you. وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. And all our tawakkul and dependence is only on you. But for the hidayah, we try to generalize it for everyone. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. Guide all of us to the right path, inshallah. Other point is regarding the matter of are we committed to do this or we are by option, by will? Definitely is by will. Now, the matter of musayar or mukhayyar, those two subjects that we have the will for everything, of course not. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not give us the key and to say, you drive it as you want. No, you drink and you eat food, all what you do, you eat it or drink it. You don't know what will happen. It's just, you gave it to your hand and take it, and then the process, it's not under you. You don't have a lock on the stomach to say, okay, I'll turn it off. I could control it inside. No. And then, for example, at time, it's 10 p.m., 9 p.m., you start to yawn and sleep. To force yourself a day or 2 or 3, then you collapse. So you do not have certain ways of controlling. There are certain things that you are musayyir. You are forced to accept it. When you come to this life, you do not come like an adult to say, okay, I'm coming, this is your name, this is your height, you don't have choice on those. You are a male or female or color or stuff, those are musayyir. You are forced to accept it. The mukhayyar is, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not ask you about those. Will not ask you why your color of your eyes or your skin or your hair, you had hair, you didn't have it here. Never, those questions are skipped because those you were committed to have them. The part which is you will be questioned is the matter of the actions, where you have the full option. You will. You could have not to come to the masjid, but you came. You could have not to wake up for the morning prayer to do the morning prayer, Salat al-Fajr, but you woke up. You put the alarm, you woke up. And same for Salat al-Dhuhr and Asr and so on, Ramadan and Zakah. You make the money, nobody is forcing you, but you have the option to pay the Zakah or not to pay it. So those are the ones that you will be asked. So this is really, you have to have a clear understanding, the line between these two sides. Which part that I could do and which part I could not do. And the part which you could do, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all the fara'id of the deen are within that path. None of them are without the ability. لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not asking his servant for something that they could not do. Therefore, even when you travel, the options, the exclusion is giving it to you so that to adjust with your life and to suitable, to be able to do it. Now, for matter of the khuf that we do, you go to work and then you don't have to wash your feet because you could make the al-masah al-jawribain. So all are to adjust their life. It's really amazing, this deen, how it suits the life of the people so that they will not be وَمَا جَعَلَ عَلَيْكُمْ فِي الدِّينِ مِنْ حَرَجٍ. That you don't feel bad. This is that you are following this path and could cause you something in your life, emotionally, physically, financially, all those. So maybe as the zakat financially you will be impacted, but if you take it a larger scope, zakat is needed. Today you are rich, tomorrow you could get poor. Today you give it, tomorrow you receive it. And all those are there. In general, you want the people, if they do not have enough money, you don't want to force them to go and steal money. If you feed them, you help them, then they don't. Then they will feel, okay, I have to work hard to be like him. And so on and so forth. So those are interchangeably at the all, it will be the best community, the best survival of a human being on this planet. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide all of us, inshallah, to the right path. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us the best followers of his deen, inshallah. وصلوا وسلموا على نبيكم مثالا لقوله تبارك وتعالى إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم اهدنا فيمن هديت وعافنا فيمن عافيت وتولنا فيمن توليت وبارك لنا فيما أعطيت وقنا واصرف عنا شر ما قضيت فإنك تقضي ولا يقضى عليك وإنه لا يذل من واليت ولا يعز من عاديت تباركت ربنا وتعاليت فلك الحمد على ما قضيت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وتب لنا وهب لنا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم يا أرحم الراحمين ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم اللهم إنا نسألك العفو والعافية في الدنيا والآخرة اللهم وفقنا ووفق أولادنا لما تحب وترضاه اللهم آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار اللهم اصرف عنا هذا الوباء يا أرحم الراحمين واخرجنا منها سالمين يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم اغفر لنا ولوالدينا ولمن له حق علينا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. عباد الله، إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. قوموا إلى صلاتكم يرحمكم الله. قم الصلاة.
الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمد رسول الله. حي على الصلاة، حي على الفلاح.